Hello everyone, my name is Eldar and today we want to discuss language learning theories. So, first what someone would ask is what is learning? Yes, it's a question which students ask teacher very often or the colleagues ask teachers very often. Okay, so learning is a meta process that includes gaining new skills and experience by using some methods. It's combined with personal and environmental experiences, so it lets us to be free with gaining this experience and as a result gain knowledge. How does the environmental and personal experiences affect our knowledge? I will explain later. So, we determine language learning with 6 theories. Behaviorism, universal grammar, crash and monitor, cognitive learning, conversation or speaking, and Schumann's acculturation. So, the first from which one I will start is the behaviorism. It combines 4 theories. First is observation or spectating. You just give the lesson to the students and watch to the result. How would they just behave themselves, or what will they do after your explanation? For example, if you are explaining a lesson, English lesson, I mean, and you told students to do this task, you observe all the tasks, compare and see which progress did every student make. So, the second one is repetition. Without repetition, without repeating, our life is impossible because every day we learn new information and we must save it in our memory. So when you are going to have a lesson with students, you must repeat the last lesson which you had before. It will help students to learn information faster and not forget it for a long time. The third one is a positive reinforcement. Never argue with the students. It's a big problem with about 80 or 70% of teachers which argue with students. So create positive reinforcement for them and make them feel comfortable in your classroom so they can realize themselves in best sphere. And behavior. Some students behave themselves, let's say, not so good. But you must involve them in the process like that. They will behave them as good as the best students behave. So, Universal Grammar by Noam Chomsky. Human's ability to learn is in his DNA. Yes, because human was born to learn. In English, there's one phrase, the more you learn, the more you earn. That's why every day we must learn and receive new information, because this information will help us in future. Also, grammar is necessary. If we talk about the English language learning, we must also think about grammar. Grammar is necessary for English language as accent or as speaking skills. If you don't know the English grammar, it's useless to try to speak English language because your speech will be incorrect. But learning on mistakes and then repeating the material will help you to learn English better and better. Okay, So here we have Crash Monitor, my favorite topic because I'm learning English using this method. You must learn your second language as first. So I learned my English is my second language, and I learn English as the first language to improve it. How does it work? When you learn the second language as first, you just try to learn more and more because you want to develop it more than your first language. That's why you start speak this language as native one. And language is on the simplest level. Yes, learning English must start from the simplest level. You start from the simplest and go to the highest level, proficiency, I mean. So when you're learning language, start from the simple one and then move higher and higher, and you will reach your success. Cognitive thinking process and knowledge and data. What is this? Cognitive thinking process is a process that combines all the sensitives of the brain and gives us the orientation, which direction was we learn language. So for example, if you are learning this language and you want to make it, let's say, good sound, you want to make good accent of yourself, you must listen and you must think about how can I make this. You can use resources and create your own accent, as I created because I spoke with the native people who speak this language with native accent. Also knowledge. Knowledge and data is collected by human, by people and by student every day. If the students will collect this knowledge and, as I said before, repeat them, they will remember this. And they use also thinking process when they are collecting this knowledge. How does it work? They use thinking process with knowledge to think. How does this knowledge help me? And they select only the useful ones and remember them for infinity. So, here we can see the Schumann's acculturation. You're the part of culture. So, I passed through one course and it was about the American culture, American traditions, and we were really involved there. So the best environment, I think, to learn language is to be involved in that language, to live like the native Americans live. So you also are combined with society. You learn about not only their traditions, but you just understand and recognize their society. When you start to do this, you gain knowledge from their society. You gain some information that's necessary for you. And you start to learn language. So I gain my accent by using combination with society. And second language acquisition. So second language acquisition only works with migrants who want to learn to improve their language. So it's based like you're a migrant and you want to know language not as native but not as the worst level, and you just combine with society, you use the second part, and also became the part of culture. Use the first one, and you became involved into the society and into the culture traditions. So that's how Schumann's acculturation works. Which one is the best? In my opinion, just the best one is Schumann's acculturation and Crash and Monitor, because when you start to learn English from the basics to the highest one, you receive more and more information from this, and you start to speak English more fluent and more fluent. Also, I mentioned the method of conversation. What is the method of conversation? Method of conversation I mentioned in the presentation is a method where you can communicate with students and with teacher using English. For example, on the English lesson, teacher gives you homework, but you don't give up and ask teacher in English. How to do this homework, and she starts to explain you discuss and discuss, and you gain information from teacher using your conversation skills. Then you use these words and the information you gained and share it with students. So it's how the conversation process works. So thank you for listening and watching. I hope you liked the presentation. Goodbye.